Welcome to the number one friendship podcast in the country. I'm Aaron Karo.
I'm Matt Ritter.
And make sure to go to manoftheyearpodcast.com to grab our merch and watch our episodes on YouTube. Matt, have a little rant. We actually have spoken about this on the pod before. It's been about a year, but we've got a lot of new listeners. Our mutual great friend visited LA. He invited us to go to a Dodgers game. You guys are Mets fans, Mets Dodgers. You couldn't go. So me and him are going to the Mets Dodgers game. He goes, "Where do you want to sit? I'll get tickets." And I go, "I don't care as long as there's not going to be a foul ball or a home run coming at us." And he goes, "What do you mean?" He's like, I won't sit anywhere where there are balls flying into the stands. It's too dangerous. He goes, "What are you talking about? You'll catch it." I'm like, "What do you mean you'll catch it? We're going to be drinking beers. We're not paying attention. We don't have gloves. Even if we had gloves." He's like, "I've never heard that before." I'm like, "I just saved your life." Just the idea that we still have a baseball stadium, that now there's more nets that you can just get destroyed with a foul ball. I'm telling you, someone we know is going to pass away. I hope it's not someone that we like, because it's insane that we have a system like this. It's just insane. It comes at 100 miles an hour. You can't catch that.
So, two things. One is, I thought you were saying that you don't want to sit in the home run territory because it's too far and the seats aren't
No,
expensive enough for you.
no. He got good seats, but they're right behind the dugout. I'm like, that's where you die.
Right. Well, because I was going to say that's kind of like a good high low that you were like writing off. You're like, don't want to get hit because it's too close, but also don't want to be too far. Because I think you're right. I'll give you this. I fully agree. First base, third base. I don't want any part of it. Home run, by the time the ball lands to you, that can't kill you.
That's fair. I mean, it can kill you if you're probably paying attention if a home run gets to
Unless
you.
it's like Yankee Stadium line drive and you're sitting like right there, because at
Right.
314 down,
Right.
like you could take that one in the chest, in their face, and like
Yeah.
boom. But the arc, the angle, like a Pete Alonso moonshot that comes down 400, you're sitting there, it spills your beer, and maybe you get a little bruise, but you're not getting like, this isn't like coconut kills you falling out of a tree.
I mean, if it hits you in the head, it could kill you, but
Maybe.
yeah.
But I'm definitely scared. I've been to a hockey game where my mom and I were there, and this woman's face exploded right in front of us. I always tell that story because I'm always just like, that was sort of like why I never like the sports that I play. I'd rather get hit by another person, like football, like physical. I'll take a tackle versus like somebody hitting me with a high velocity, hard object.
Yeah. And they've extended, I did extensive research. They've extended the
The
nets at all
Nets.
the stadiums. Yeah.
So are
Which,
there nets in front of the first base and third base lines now that it can't really go there?
yes, it kind of like it goes past the dugout now. So it goes farther than it used to go. Like you remember in the movie Major League, the fans are dancing on the dugout when they win. Like you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
get to the dugout anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how many fans have been struck and killed by baseballs?
In history, is that what
Yeah,
you're asking me?
yeah.
All right. I bet you it's pretty low. I mean, baseball's been around for 150 years, but I'm going to say 7.
So, according to this book, there's been 850 fan deaths in all levels, MLB down to Little League, ever.
From getting hit by balls.
Yeah, the most recent foul ball death, or I don't, it doesn't necessarily say. I think some people fall over the railing, but it doesn't necessarily say. There were 6 fatalities between 2019 and 2014.
Yeah. I mean, there's just,
It's shark bite territory, or death by
well,
shark.
but not a lot of people die by shark, you mean?
Right.
Right.
So this book
Yeah.
is comparing all spectator sports. Let's
Well, no
see.
one's ever died at a basketball game, so we know that.
Right. Foul ball, 39%. Fall, 27%. Stray bat, 15%. Violent assault, 6%.
Yeah.
That's the breakdown of death at baseball games. So
Well,
39% foul ball, 27% fall, 15% stray baseball bat, 6% violent assault.
yeah, I mean, you're as likely to get your ass beat by the guy next to you than you
Right.
are to
Yeah. People
fall over
forget
dead.
about that being an option too.
Yeah, I mean, I want to die in a normal way and a long time from now.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't want to go that way.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Like anyone who sits, I mean, is there a counter argument like, oh, you catch foul balls and that's fun and cool and whatever?
I think
The seats are good.
it is foul. It is cool and fun if you're the type of person that's cool and fun too.
Right. Yeah. Well, okay. There's no real transition to our to our topic, but I want to talk about dry spells. The old dry spell. So, we would talk about dry spells in sort of a romantic sense, like, oh, I haven't gotten laid in a while. I haven't been on
You
a
have something
date
you
in a
want to tell
while.
us? You have something you want to tell us?
No, no, absolutely not. Although I think I wrote an episode of a column of ruminations about dry spells and maybe the early aughts. But you and I were talking offline about friendship dry spells. When you look around for a minute and think, oh, I actually haven't seen my friends in a while or made a new friend in a while. And you had a good point of how that can be misdiagnosed. But just starting from the top, friendship dry spell, you have go through blood sugar drops. That's different than a dry spell, I would assume.
Yeah, I go through the emotional feelings of it, but I think what we're talking about with a friendship dry spell is, hey, I actually haven't seen a friend or spoken to friends or made a new friend in a really long time. It's a bit fallow.
You said your crops have lain fallow.
Yeah, lane fallow.
Yeah, and I think, well, a couple things. One, when you're going through a friendship, I think a lot of people are going through friendship dry spells. That's why we have an entire podcast about it. It's something that I think we need to be on alert for, because especially our men are like, oh, I haven't seen my buddies in 6 months. That's fine. No, it's not fine. And what to do about it? Because I think a lot of people go right to, well, I don't have any friends to see in the first place. And we also know that that is not necessarily true.
I just had a good laugh internally just when you said dry spell and just you were talking about dating dry spell. We all know the remedy for getting out of a dry spell, the classic.
Is it a rebound? Oh, a slump buster. A friendship slump buster.
That means any port in the storm.
Well, we did an episode about friendship rebounds.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe you just need any sort of level of socialization to get yourself out of a friendship dry spell.
Right. Yeah.
Should
Yeah.
we
I like
define,
that.
hold on, let's back up. Should we define
Yes.
friendship dry spell? Like put some quantification on it?
Yes. Okay. Now, do you think it's more about making a friend or actually seeing your friends?
Well, we could do both categories, right? So what is a haven't made a new friend? I mean, or if you have a lot of friends, you don't need to necessarily make a new friend.
Right. Let's stick with seeing your friends or interacting with your friends. Ooh, God, how long? This is, I feel like we're like the international, what is that? Like weights and measures where they have a brick that's exactly 1 pound. And like, think in your head, don't say it out loud. You think in your head how long you have to go without seeing your friends to be a dry spell. All right, I have a number. What do you say?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 6 months.
30 days.
Wow.
Wow. So Matt said 6 months. I said 30 days. I thought you were going to go lower.
Well, I mean, if we're going to start like saying, hey, I'm in a dry spell. I mean, what are we saying? You haven't seen anybody?
Well, I mean, you've seen your family.
Just like haven't seen a friend at all? Well, yeah, if you haven't seen a friend at all, sure, 30 days.
Well, listen, we can.
I just meant like, oh, if you haven't, like, are we talking about one particular friend or just any friend? You're saying you haven't seen a single friend?
I don't know, Matt. We're in charge. We're the friendship experts.
All right. So if you haven't seen a single friend, I'd say 30 days. But if you feel
Okay.
like you haven't like, really hung out with your friends, quote unquote, as a group, 6 months.
Mm, yeah.
Like collectively, if you're like, hey, I have a good crew. It's been 6 months. I haven't seen any of them collectively. I don't know. Maybe that is long.
Or maybe it's 6 months without a really deep interaction and 30
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Just for us to like start being like, I don't want people walking around going, I'm in a dry spell. I'm in a dry spell every month.
I don't know. Maybe we do.
Yeah. But maybe we do. Maybe we do. I mean, look, the idea is we want you to consistently be thinking about your social fitness so that you're never in a dry spell, that you never find yourself in a position where you're like, oh man, I really haven't talked to any of my friends. I mean, you're not supposed to live like that. Your existence should not be set up so that you haven't talked to a friend in such a long time that you're going, man, whoa, it's been a long time.
Well, you know how like they say, oh, instead of like 3 meals, eat little snacks throughout the day.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if that's an easier pill to swallow, not to mix metaphors
Well,
for our
that's why I'm a
friends.
big proponent of low key hangs because for as you get older and your families and work obligations and things just get out of control from your schedule, when you feel your calendar slipping from you, the low key hang is a simple way to go. Oh, I don't have to have an event to see this person. You want to take a walk? You want to do this? But again, like we should be using our TCS rubric: text, call, see. Text once a week, call once a month, see, get eyes on once a quarter. That's every 3 months. If you haven't done that, then yeah, you're in a dry spell with your friends.
I think, and even just like Loki hangs aside, 1 hour, a 1 hour beer, one beer.
Yeah. Do you think it's a good idea to start vocalizing this to your friends? And if so, like, are we saying individually, like you're gonna say, like, hey, I feel like our friendship is in a dry spell? How do you feel about that?
Well, depends on the situation. If they're like, you haven't been able to get, I don't know if it means as much when you're saying it to another person.
Right, right. This is just
I,
our own internal. This is your own internal clocking.
I think it's more like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while.
Right, right.
Uh,
Let's not end
which
up in a
can,
friendship dry spell.
right, right. You know, I mean, I think a lot of it is just guys don't think it's important.
Right, right. The consistency, or I think, is the big part, though. If you're consistent, you won't end up in friendship dry spells. If you're using our advice and you're just thinking about this stuff, you're not going to end up in a friendship dry spell. But I think we should talk about what do you do if you find yourself in one.
Well, we often start with social universe, which is like, who are your friends? You know, I write it down, but you don't have to do that. You know, if you're new to the podcast, take a minute. You could use a notes app or just in your head. Who are my friends? Start with the friends who live in your city. There's Jim, there's Bob, there's Lisa. Like, just make a mental note of who they are. And it could be 2, it could be 20. We don't know. And then you're like, well, have I seen any of that? Like, have I spoken to any of them recently? Have I texted with any of them recently? Like, friendship requires watering, not just like like a, a friendship is we like to use friending as a verb. You know, you got to do something.
I do like the idea of doing the inventory regularly because Karo does it on his birthday, which is a fine time to do it, New Year's, whatever. But that whole idea of like I have no friends, right? When we're saying you do have friends, you do have friends. You just go look in your phone. They're there. They're all there. They're all in your phone. There's plenty of
Yeah,
people that if you go through the phone one by one, is this a friend? Is this not a friend? There's a lot of people who are randos that are not your friends in your phone too.
yeah.
Let's be clear. But your phone is filled with people that are your friends. And if you are like, hey, well, these are why don't you just, here, let's go take it one step further. Inventory your friends. Have I seen, have I not seen? Let's pick 3 that you want to see more frequently than you're seeing, or the 3 that you're really in the friendship, dry spell with, that you don't want to be in a friendship dry spell with. And let's just activate those 3.
Yeah. I mean, I would even, I would even pick one, start with one. I mean, if you want. Yeah. And what do we mean by activate?
Well, we can always go with, it's been a while, we're just
A
thinking
text.
about you. Text, just this made me think of you. Send a meme, send a pic, send a place you guys were at together. But we also mean activate is put something on the calendar and make it easy for that other person to say yes. Look at your calendar. Be prepared when you're doing this, right? If your goal is, hey, I want to get this person back in my life, just make it easy. Go, hey, um, I'm free Tuesday night, cleared the calendar, got the wife buy in, come meet me for a drink.
All right, Matt. So let's say I'm a listener and I'm saying, yeah, Matt, I mean, I could text my Bob. I haven't talked to him in a while, but like, I don't know. He probably doesn't want to hang out.
No, you're wrong. He does want to hang out. We say this all the time on the pod. These are the narratives that you have created in your head, these limiting beliefs that people don't want to hang out with you. Who flip it? When do you not like getting that text from somebody saying, "Hey, was just thinking about you. It's been a while since we hung out. Love to see you." I love when I get those texts.
I don't know. For me, I'm like, slow down.
no,
Like, there's a reason we haven't hung out.
but that could be listen, but no, you're joking, but you're also
I'm
not.
joking.
You are joking, but that could be accurate. Like again, if you're assessing the friendship, like, hey, do we both like each other? Are these feelings mutual? Is this dry spell just a accident or circumstances, or neither of us are good at like putting in the time and effort and we're both kind of lazy about it? Or is it like, this is a one-sided friendship, I text this person, they never text back? If that's the case, find somebody else.
Right. Right. So certainly you want to pick someone you've got a good feeling about that you've
Yeah,
hung out with before. And
yeah.
obviously I was just joking. You know, most incomings, everybody likes an incoming text like that, thinking about you, let's do something.
Karo goes delete, unsubscribe.
Oh man. Should we take a listener question?
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, this is asking for a friend. If you have a friendship question or ethical dilemma, send it to us on Instagram and we will answer it on the show. Our handle is Man of the Year Podcast. Okay, this was a good one, Matt. Dear Matt and Karo, as I look back on the past few years, I realize many of my friendships were deeply meaningful, but also temporary. So some lasted a season of the year, others a work project, a personal crisis one of us was going through, or a shared stage of life. And I'm struggling to reconcile the value of these friendships with the sadness of their fading. I've always believed in the idea of a tight knit inner circle, a group of friends who know the real me, and most importantly, who last. But lately, I started to question whether that ideal is whether that ideal is realistic or just something movies and nostalgia have taught me to want. What if modern adult friendship is meant to be more fluid and more modular?
Great question. Juicy. So much to unpack. Can I start by saying there's no right answer to this one?
Hmm.
Because for each person, their own values of what they want in a friendship are going to be different. And you're going to want to line those up with other people that feel that way. And that changes over time. So, what by that, I mean, some people just want to have the same crew, consistent, long term, same friends for their entire lives. Some people are changing and are fluid and want that. And I believe there are seasons for friendship. I fully like agree with that. And I think friends should moving out. We just saw this study that said you replace your close friends every 7 years, half of them. So it's normal. So just know that that's normal. But I do think our desire to have long-term friends is paramount. Like, I don't know if you agree or disagree. I think our desire, all of us, is to have the friends that last.
Well, my interpretation of when you often say there's seasons for friendship is that these are long-term friends that you sometimes fall in and out with, as opposed to people you just friends with for 1 year and then you never really talk to them again.
Both. I
Yeah.
would say I'm both. I think usually I say that in reference to people that are going in and out of your lives for the certain times that you're, hey, I'm too busy at work, so can't really spend a lot of time. Or, hey, you moved to Texas. Oh, you moved back? Now we're back on, right?
Right.
But I also think there are seasons for friendship of like, hey, your wild and crazy friends were your 20s. If they're still wild and crazy, they're not the guy for you now if you're a stable family man, whatever the case may be. That doesn't mean you don't love them or you don't treasure what that friendship was and what it did for you. It just doesn't mean that you have to stay in it actively.
But I would also let's poke at the premise of the question. These friendships were temporary. Why? You know, we've all, if you had a close work buddy and you worked on a project for 6 months and then the work project ended, there's no law that says you can't hang out anymore. If there was a personal crisis, it says personal crisis. I have no idea what that is, but something happens with a buddy, so they're sick or they have an illness in the family and you get super close and then they don't need you as much anymore. Get it. I get that. But doesn't mean you can't extend the friendship. So I'm wondering, I'm musing out loud, Matt, is it possible this person is, you know, treating these friendships more modular than they actually are?
Hmm. Right. Right. But I guess it's a question of like, is it being kind of presented to them or are they presenting it that way? Right. Because it's like, hey, if people are drifting out of their lives when these things end, then you're right. It's like, well, you can make the choice to keep those friendships going beyond whatever the circumstances are, right? Like you move, you can stay close to that person in a different way. It's definitely going to be a different relationship, if you move cities. Uh, but, or if you take different interests, like, hey, I'm not doing CrossFit anymore. Are you still friends with those CrossFit people? Some of them, right? Some of them you're
Mm-hmm.
probably not going to be as close with.
But if he's describing several different friends in several different situations that have all become temporary.
Yeah.
Uh, there's one consistent thing here, and that's you.
Right. Right. No, it's a very valid point for this person to have a little self, awareness check of like, hey, am I the one who's running the fluidity ship here, the
Right.
temporary friendship ship here, or also are you putting a little bit of a spotlight on those ones, and are we not counting all the ones that don't fill this bucket? Are you telling me that there aren't any that are lasting? Because if there aren't any friendships that seem to stick, then yeah, maybe we do have a problem.
And I will say, because we've gotten this question before. He says, "Is this something from movies or nostalgia?" Matt, we got a question a couple episodes ago of like, "Well, you and Matt have been friends since second grade, so how can I ever have a lifelong friend?" Well, you can make a day one friend starting today, and then in 40 years you'll be as friends as long as me and Matt. So just because you don't have the tight inner circle you see in Superbad today doesn't mean you can't have it tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, like there is no right way to friend. You need
Hmm.
people that make you feel good, that support you, that you can be yourself around, and that you can celebrate things with, that will be there to sit with you when things aren't going great, like that share your values or outlook, but they don't necessarily have to be spending time with you every day or every week. I mean, all that stuff can be toggled based on circumstances of life or your needs. But I do agree with Karo. Like maybe you're seeing it as more fluid than it needs to be.
Right. I mean, he says, what if modern adult friendship is meant to be more fluid? By the way, modern adult friendship is more fluid because now everybody moves and your people go to Abu Dhabi for a year. I don't know why I chose that as an example, but people, used to never leave your hometown. So it is more fluid.
It is
But,
more, definitely
like
more.
if there's someone that you're counting as a good friend after like a work project or some sort of shared thing, you both have your kids in mommy and me or parent in me,
Right.
uh, there's no reason these friends bring them back. I think you need to circle back to these people.
Right. I think that's what they're saying. Right. So I think if you're going to use the dating analogy, I think this person's having a lot of friendship flings. and they want to know if that's okay. And I think it is. It's definitely okay. But what we're saying is that you can do that, but you can also make some of those flings a steady long term friend. That's the best thing about friendship. You're not looking for the one, you're looking for a one.
You know what we call a friendship fling? We call it a one night stand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I I
No,
I
maybe.
pitched it. I pitched a show called One Night Stand maybe 20 years ago
Yeah.
about a guy. It's like Quantum Leap where
Yeah.
he goes back to
I
each of
think I
his one
remember
night
this.
stands.
I think I
Yeah.
remember this. Yeah.
And it made no sense. And it also didn't sell.
Didn't
But
tell. Yeah.
yes, friendship flings. What's interesting is that clearly this guy wants something deeper. So it's kind of interesting that he's having so many flings because usually I think that our listeners who want something deeper feel like they haven't found anybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of the Goldilocks thing too that could be happening. This
Right.
friend's not right. This friend's too this friend's too that. I'm looking for a friend who's just right.
Right. And as I can tell from experience, and I'm sure Matt will say the same, you're never going to find that perfect friend. They're always going to be quite flawed,
Quite,
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 quite flawed.
quite flawed.
So I think if I would summarize our advice, I would say take a moment to be introspective, and then also take a look at your flings and be like, why did this die out, and can I revive it?
Yeah. But in answer to the overall question of like, is modern friendship, more conducive to not having, permanent fixtures in your life? Yes and no. I think that's the answer, right? Yes, it's more fluid. Yes, people are moving around. Yes, you've got people that can come in and out of your life more easily. But no, the standard bearer of what a good friend is somebody that, I think you want to keep around long term.
And by the way, at the beginning, he says, I realized many of my friendships were deeply meaningful. Well, also take a couple wins there. I mean, that's great.
Right. Right. But if they're deeply meaningful, you don't just throw them away.
Right.
And the other thing about friendship is it requires time to really build trust and vulnerability and the depth of knowing you and knowing the other person. So I think it's hard to say that, hey, modern friendship is supposed to be just, a little bit more disposable with it. Like, I think you can have some of that. And again, like part of my philosophy is like, there are levels of friends. We talk about that all the time of like, not everybody needs to be your BFF, but that's a different rung.
Right. And we also recently did an episode about 24-hour friends when you meet someone over a weekend and you become,
Yeah.
good friends with that. I mean,
But we talk about the friendship pyramid where it's like, you need your core friends as your main, as your sustenance, but you also need those, casual friends.
the dude pyramid.
The dude pyramid.
Right. You need a
What did I call it?
base. The friendship pyramid? I don't know.
Yeah, we called it the dude pyramid. Yeah, I don't know what.
All right, do we answer that?
I think so.
All right, thank you so much. That was asking for a friend. If you have a friendship question, send it to us on Instagram, Man of the Year Podcast, and we'll answer it on the show. All right, Matt, any final thoughts about dry spell? You have 2 kids now, so are you still feeling your 3:00 lonely spell?
No, because I'm in the office with Dan, so we're on Larchmont schmoozing. I don't go home anymore till the workday's done. I'm there all day.
Wow, you're a working man again.
Yeah, I'm a working man. Well, it's really just because it's impossible to not want to spend time with Brenner, and it's impossible for him not to like see me and know I'm there.
Yeah,
So it
and you're
solves
both there
both.
every day.
What's that?
You're both there every day.
Not every day, not both of us every day, but
Yeah,
3 day, 4 day overlap. It's good.
you guys are like having an entire like friendship in like a like supercharged thing. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. But my philosophy is that you got to level up. We always say you got to do it quick, level up quick if you really want to get close.
Yeah, I mean, we've never discussed for our Lumos level up moments, meet the parents, take a trip together. We never discussed get a small office and work next to each other for a year.
Get a tiny office.
Tiny. Both of you at the top of your lungs.
Yeah, we also have a conference room for when we're both screaming.
All right, guys, let us know if you've ever been in a friendship dry spell, what you did to get out of it, and if you have any tips to share with the rest of the group. Thank you guys for listening. Always remember, be good to yourself, be good to your friends. Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.